I'm going to talk a bit about an idea, about a vision and a mission I have together with a few business partners and some contributors about an open, decentralized, crowdsourced Internet of Things network. We currently call it the Things Network. Yeah. Maybe just to start off, just a little bit about myself. I founded a startup 3 years ago. It was a video-on-demand startup, a bit like Netflix, and we sold it to Sanoma publisher last year. And since then, I'm trying out all different projects. One of the things I worked actively on was founder of is the Internet is Ours startup for net neutrality. The organization was created to give all the startups a voice to the European Parliament about their legislation forming around net neutrality. And currently I'm building an IT company. It's called The Smiths. So this is a bit about me. Together with my business partner Johan, is not here, he's in Hackers Paradise in Barcelona. We are on a mission to build a decentralized, open, and crowdsourced Internet of Things network, operated and owned by its users. So what is that? So just to do a little recap, I don't know, already explained a few, and half did already know what an Internet of Things data network is and half didn't. So I'm just going to do a little recap. This is a thing, an Internet. So it has a sensor and it has a transmitter. That's what I think that you know. It transmits over LoRa, or Sigfox is also an example, and it transmits the data over the air to this device. It's a gateway. It receives the signal. There's a little computer in there, and the computer sends it to whatever you want, to a cloud, it stores locally, and you can do something with the data. So that's the network equipment. So that's what it is. So why do we want to make a decentralized crowdsourced data network of these things? The simple reason is that that's how Internet was created. So Internet was created because I have a network, you have a network, we're friends, yeah, and I allow you to pass your data over my network, and you allow me to pass my data over your network. And as long as we're staying friends, the synergy that brings is so big that even if we're unequal in the relationship, it still like generates profit for us both. There's such a huge win-win. So what we want to bring we want to bring that to this technology as well. So imagine if you own a set of gateways and somebody else owns a set of gateways, and you have an application. It would be awesome that if your users were in the area of the other gateways area, their beacons would still work because we share the network. So if somebody else has a neighborhood with all these receivers and I have a neighborhood and one of my users goes to their neighborhood, this one gives off a signal, my gateways cannot reach it, but his can. It would be nice if there's a routing mechanism that routes the data back to the destinations I'd like it to be. So, and I already discussed with quite a few, next? Oh, was it next, right? Yeah. I already discussed with quite a few, I can do the question at the end. I already discussed with quite a few people and asked, like, you're going to do this project, you're going to do this LoRa 1 project. Are you open to invest in your part of the network and share it? And like everybody says yes. So we got a lot of validation from that, and we're already starting with this network. Yes. Around the end of this year, at the beginning of next year, with some cities where we will launch this type of network. We're already with, I think we have 2 founders, and we already have around 5 to 6 contributors, and we just barely started. This is the first time I actually explain it to people, and we're already developing some parts of the stack and the different things. And like the biggest thing for me personally, why I do this is because I think this is a decentralization experiment, and that's why I wanna share it with you guys, and hope you can get in touch with me if you have ideas about this, because I would like to discuss about how can we truly embed decentralization in this. So how can we truly make sure that there's never a single entity that holds any type of control that can result in a whatsoever leverage that can compromise the common goals that you would have as a community. And that's why I think I'm looking at somebody who can contribute to architecture, people that make devices, applications, people that think of use cases, entrepreneurs, people that think of philosophers, so how we really can make sure that we write a manifest that embeds the decentralization, and in the end pledgers, and a community that's willing to crowdsource this, to pledge, and to in the end benefit from the network we create. And if you'd like to join, things that it's not online yet, so we're still under the radar now. It's a bit more, but still on the radar. And we're going to launch the campaign somewhere between now and 6 weeks. And yeah, if you think this is awesome, mail me at wegiswan@gmail.com. And I would love to have your direct feedback or questions or critique or hurdles you see right now.
The data that so there's this different access point basically to your database.
Yeah, so that's one of the things we're figuring out right now is
the question, please,
oh yeah,
so my question was, the data gets transferred through someone else's base, but does the data get stored there as well, or can that base see the data, or does it get stored just on your base?
The question is that the data is sent over the air, and then it's received by the gateway, and the question is, where is it stored, local or central? I think the answer to that question is that it shouldn't matter. So if we want to build this, we need to make sure that we have a stack which is completely loosely coupled. So if you say, okay, I just want to have this thing, and at the end of every day there's a USB port, I want the data on the USB port, and I want to take it home. And then as a community, as the Things Network community, you should be able to build it, if that's what you want. But so there's no rules here. There's no proprietary way of using this. Is that answer to your question? But it can be.
Maybe I don't get the concept, because I was thinking like you have all these, because there's different places where you have boxes, right? So every person has one box, and you get access to that network.
Yeah.
But the network is just the infrastructure, or does it save the data?
Yeah. So the idea is that the data is routed, to the owner.
Okay, so it's routed to the owner.
Yeah.
It's not saved on.
No, but
no, that's infrastructure.
Yeah, it's just infrastructure. It's routed. So that's the basic idea. Yeah. But it's not. For me, that feels like this is how you should use it. It's like open source community. You're not. How you use Apache is how you use Apache. Yeah. So there are no rules. The only thing is that if you want to make this network work and you want to make get value out of it and do something together, then you configure it right.
What about the confidentiality of the data?
That's not. You mean security or? Yeah, that's not in the. That's not in the medium. That's not in the. How do you call it? If I talk to you like this, everybody can hear us. So I won't say something confidential, or I will use like some kind of code. Yeah. So if you want to secure it, you just have to encrypt it. Yeah. So that's on a different. That's a different layer. It's up to you if you want to encrypt it.
Are there similar initiatives in other countries too?
I haven't heard of this yet.
Because it's something that's.
I hope there are.
Yeah.
But I've looked at it. I didn't see it.
Okay.
So it would be like I hope there is. I hope that, for instance, Proximus, KPN, that they will embrace this kind of philosophy. But it goes the other way around, and I think that that's why I will never. This is something that doesn't allow doesn't allow any investment, because it's external capital which has a cost of capital, which will not work.
You mentioned the KPN, but isn't that actually a competitor which wants to monopolize it?
No, I don't. Yeah, you can say the competitor. I hope it will not be a competitor, but I think that's good.
Or roaming.
Or roaming, yeah, that would be awesome. So what's it like British Telecom owns a lot of data networks in the Netherlands, and KPN, they're like frenemies. They're partners and they're competitors, right? So if the routing data over British Telecom networks is cheaper, you will do that.
In the end, it's going to be about a service built on the infrastructure.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, but I mean, we're
So I
here.
don't think it really, in the beginning, it will maybe better with KPN or other competitors.
Yeah.
But in the end,
But
what you want is to have an infrastructure for maximizing the services you can provide.
Sure, yeah, I think for short-term traction, KPN is on a better path right now. So short-term traction, Linux was way after Microsoft, right? It's not. So that does, but it doesn't really.
How is it different from hotspot or homespot, any concept which are going on right now in the market? Because
Hotspot?
There are two concepts which are hotspot is there, which are every central place they will put a router device something, and then homespot now, which every telecom industry is introducing. Like you can share the network with your
It's a similar concept, yeah.
So they have already enabled Wi-Fi modem. Most of the houses are now enabled Wi-Fi enabled.
Yeah.
So if I'm moving to my friend's place and I can use my own login ID for accessing the internet, it's the same thing.
Yeah, it's the same concept. Yeah, but it's a completely different technology. So this is Wi-Fi is not built for. It's like Wi-Fi was originally built for six people on a hotspot, and it's very power consuming. And this technology is built for low cost, long range, and low battery. So it's like in that sense it's different. It's the same. It's a different technology, and it's not. It's still proprietary.
So if I can just ask a question, from what you said, you're saying you don't want investors because then you have a cost of capital.
Yeah.
The cost of capital is control of the company.
Yeah.
So let's say if this is a volunteer group, basically everybody shares their devices, it's one thing. If you then offer a guarantee, then you have to have an investor, then you have to have a board, then it has to be a company, then it becomes a competitor.
Yeah.
While it's not offering any guarantees whatsoever, then it's actually not really a competitor at all, because they're paying for guarantees. If you're a commercial entity, you go to the commercial party.
And
in a way.
And then you can and then you could compare quality of service, and maybe on the long term with a crowd source solution would end up, because you have a huge redundancy. It's maybe even better.
Yeah. There is an investment, right? There is some investment because everyone buys his own gateway, basically.
Yeah, but there's an investment, but not with the cost of capital.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's it. And about cost, these things are now like this is €1,000. So €1,000. So if you compare that to open source, like a good laptop is €2,000, and people are just doing that, giving away their time.
I see a bit of a conflict with the architecture of the technology that you're talking about.
Okay.
If we look basically at how LoRa is designed, we're talking about end-to-end encryption. So the data is sent from the device to the service throughout encrypted. Basically, the payload of the packet is encrypted, and the payload of the packet will be decrypted by the receiving end. The gateway, like you described it there, is typically designed as a packet forward. So when you get it, you install the packet forward shell script, you shoot it off, and it starts forwarding the packet to the end node destination.
Yeah, actually I've got that
So-
application.
So the gateway doesn't know what the content of the packet is, and therefore it also doesn't know who the packet belongs to. So if you think about a flexible routing scenario whereby the packet, my packet on your gateway will go to my service, and your packet on my gateway will go to your service, it doesn't fit in the architecture that you have there. The only way for it to facilitate this is if you would have a routing layer on top of this.
Yeah.
Or below it, basically.
Yeah.
Which doesn't exist. So for now, if we all want to build one big open source LoRa cloud, the hurdle that I see is that all packets will go to the same central site. At that same central site where it comes to, they will have to be decrypted, and then all our security is gone. So for now, in what you have presented, I see no.
The addressing layer has to be decrypted, but not the content of the packet.
That's good, but as far as I see, there is no addressing layer in there. With LoRa, it is designed that the packet goes to the gateway and from the gateway to the server.
The gateway is a link between LoRa and the internet, so that gives it an address.
Yes, but so what the gateway does, the gateway routes packets it receives.
The gateway knows what it has a kind of MAC address from
From the device.
Yeah?
Is the MAC address from the device also encrypted? No. Okay, so you could do a routing mechanism based on
But
that.
it's the origin.
Yeah,
Then
but
how
then
do
you
know
can
where it has to go?
because I have a cat finder application, find my cat. So it has a MAC address, and the user as an app scans the QR ID registered in his application, and he knows that all messages from that device needs to be routed to.
But that's the app. But the cat has that sensor.
Yeah.
That sends out signals that come to that server. So the MAC address of your cat is known. But how does this device know
Then
to route it to you as well?
then there has to be some kind of routing.
Yeah, and that's what he said.
But maybe it's just because it seems like there are two people. Yeah, but is it true that like the MAC address is not encrypted, right?
Yeah, but that's the origin.
Yeah, I know.
But you need a routing.
Yeah, but then you can do a routing table.
Encryption is not a problem. I mean, Sigfox doesn't encrypt it either. If you have a modem number, you can put it in some pub subscription system, and you can get it out and or you can even make it distributed pub sub.
Yeah. But this is exactly what this is what we need to discuss about the architecture for the makers work. But so you think it's possible? You already made a LoRa gateway, but I would love to have I would love to invite you, and I'm going to create a mailing list, and I think I'm going to create a Slack as well, because there should be a way to solve this, I guess.
Just like DNS or something, you could make a lookup service that looks up a certain device ID in a central database to find out to which destination the packet needs to be routed. Yeah, that's
I don't think that's a correct solution. If you make a pub-sub mechanism, you can store the message away and wait until your application gets it from the right node. It doesn't have to be somewhere, some centralized point. As long as they have a number from the modem or from the one who will send it, so it's enough. I mean, this is solved problem.
My more technical co-founder who's on Skype there, he just says he agrees with the DNS analogy. But I would love to discuss with you because I think together with Autonomo this would be very interesting to explore and
So there are a lot of difficult questions to be answered, both technical and also ethical and private security. How far are you in this process? Are there some technical implementations already?
We got a demo right now, and what we're trying to do right now is to set up the architecture with mostly ready-made components to make more proof of concept, So we're going to do this weekend and just see if we can use this, for instance, together with Parse, and just really simple application, testing the range of these devices. So it's really it's really not an investigation about how this is going to work. But because we're going to do this really lean, and we don't have any planning, we don't have any timelines. So we're going to do this gradually and see how it grows. And the thing is, like once, and that's going to be the thing about the campaign is if we can make this work in Amsterdam, we can make it work across the entire world. That's the goal. So yeah, and again, my question is, like, do you believe in this vision, and do you think that you can help out with all the challenges? Then I don't know.
So we have volunteers to help Wienke.
I hope so.
Everybody put up their hand that might like to volunteer. One.
I got one.
Okay, two.
I already found
Yeah, three.
Yeah.
4.
Oh, that's enough.
Okay.
That's good. The funny thing is, these things are not that expensive, and we estimated that we don't need that much for the entire Netherlands, so we just need a few nutcases to do this, and then we can already make impact. So that's enough. Thanks.
I mean, you not worked out how many transmitters you needed in order to cover the entire city, did you?
Yeah.
How much was that?
Around, we were discussing, but we still have to test. We think about that.
This is a sort of theoretical. Every meeting, every time we've had a discussion on LoRa, including the one when I was in Utrecht at the sort of LoRa day, everybody who sits down there, first thing they do is they say, wow, how many should we buy if we want to cover Amsterdam?
Yeah.
And so I think I've been in maybe 6 conversations with people to work out how many should cover Amsterdam, everybody plotting their houses, etc. But Wienke is the first person to actually taking it further than the beer. So, and you've already spoken to people in the
yeah, we got a lot of people that have interface startups
and people like that. So.
And yeah, that can.
Yeah, I mean, you know, there's lots of discussions over beers, and then, you know, Wienke called me up after a couple of weeks. Oh yeah, I've spoken to all the main providers, all the main manufacturers. They've all given information, etc. So
yeah.
It's not like a pub chat.
No, it's not like a pub chat. We're really going to do this.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's the radio technology you use?
What's that?
What's the radio technology? Is it ultra narrow band or is it?
I don't know.
Maybe
Maybe somebody else knows.
Well, you can see from the length of the antenna.
Does anybody know? They have to answer to the question what kind of radio technology it is?
It's ultra narrow band in the 868 MHz band.
Anyway, I think round of applause
Yeah.
for Wienke.
If you want to have a look, I built a test setup there. So if you want to have a look, just or log in and see what the console looks like. Feel free to join.